Well, part 2 is done. Let's talk about part 3. This video right now. Back then, we are talking about everyday products that aim to attract potential customers to buy their product or to prove a point about specific case about electricity that affect many people using many electronic appliances that wasted too much energy. Well, but in this video, still the same as everyday product, but it's not a long-term product, but very short one. It's fast food product, not the same as I reviewed the previous fast food game that quite a terrifying one. But its competitor, even though there are people making absurd meme and fan out of it with other competitors, and that is KFC or Kentucky Fried Chicken. You know that, right? His logo. And yes, the man himself. Colonel Harlan David Sanders, the one who started this fast food juggernaut, one of many persons in the world with wildest story I had ever read. Kind of cool but kind of tragic at some point, which is a tough life for Colonel himself. Based on KFC website, it stated that he had a rough childhood since his dad passed away, and his mother married another man but act like a dick. Simply doesn't like stepson. Colonel himself, that his childhood, he managed to become second-class worker while he is still a kid, managing many works, including in the US Army, which is debatable, till he retired and do many jobs once again. Until he owned and running a gas station and food service in Nicholasville and Corbin, Kentucky. There he started Kentucky Fried Chicken with many hardships and tragedy. At some point, based on Gon's video, thank you, he made an interesting marketing tactics in his gas station and make a nearby gas station competitor operator, Matt Stewart, having beef with Colonel himself by simply decorating his establishment. Yeah, remember gas station simulator spray painting kit? Kinda like that. Thus, Colonel himself visit him with two Shell district managers until Matt himself caused stupid assault by shooting them. What a crazy person. But that's not all. Colonel himself is not title he received in the US Army. According to Grunge, he actually entered US military and served in Cuba until he is honorably discharged because he was too young. So he is not achieving his colonel title. How did he receive it? It turns out it's just a US honorary title in Kentucky. Just that it has nothing to do in military. By simply doing community work by serving food to his community and interested traveler. Even though there are career setback and tough situation, Colonel managed to survive until he sell his company to group of investors for $2 million. But the investors keep Colonel as the company images as he is the previous owner and ambassador to his brand and recipe. And so his other many stories according to Mess Thank You, with many lawsuits at just minor inconvenience. But hey, he is still the true owner and face of KFC to this day, even though he is passed away at 90 years old due to acute leukemia. His legacy, KFC, that this fast food juggernaut was massively success and invade the rest of the USA, thus making entrance to the people of the world, making name and fame to attract many potential customers through many creative advertising, such as based on other nation's social and cultural background, cooperation with celebrity, which is as usual marketing approach, kids toy. Yeah, because why not? Kids love it. Food plus toys equals money. Even games such as visual novel by dating the colonel himself, which is just ad for game. Even that KFC console. Yeah, remember that marketing stunts that baffle everyone? Which is never appear in the face of public because how ridiculous it is. Well, if that thing a real console, it should be a mix between foot warmer and bootleg console you find at garage sale. But want to create that anyway? Too much electricity wasted for two unrelated things? Except their effort game that sub creative made for specific target demographic. Kids who love KFC mascot and characters. And there are many. Some work and done, but hey, it is KFC effort game. But there is one thing that I learned about sub creative, and that is somehow they managed to create carbon copy. So basically you will see the same game twice or thrice with different cosmetic in it. Got that? Good, because we have several carbon copy in this case. But I honestly really don't know what this game was promoted for. Based on Flashpoint database, it was from 2009 and so on. For what specific this game was made for, I really don't know. From the look of its design, it is 100% for children, but for what event that this game was meant for is still unknown to me. So if you know anything about it, just let me know. And we're already talking too much. Let's just go to the game itself. But the game is segmented into series of time travel mini games with small story in it. There are four places we must go, but since I don't know where to start, let's just go with the future one. I got at least two each game for the series, and the first series to review is KFC Cosmic Challenge Intergalactic Invaders and Build and Bless. Let's start with Intergalactic Invaders. Oh, hey, look, it's Grimace, everybody! In this game, we need to defend a planet inhabited by Grimace-skin alien from being invaded by army of evil robots. Have I seen this one before? By doing what? Fire our questionable ammo with our trusty cannon. Should be laser beam, for maximum destruction? But since this is for kids, we need to change it for appropriate approach in it. With everyday objects and appliances, such as trash bin, TV, and even tires. When we are in advanced technology alien planet, to shoot, you need to move your mouse to aim and hold left click to shoot. Either weak or strong shoot depends on this interesting method that determines how slow or fast your fire is. To attack incoming various type of robots while riding space rock. Like, where's the UFO? Well, it become extra point object if you shoot them, which is anyway, this robot will come one by one or after specific timing, so you need to think how to repel them all by simply attack them one by one or resocket it to another robot to maximize your score by multiplier. There are 5 levels and each level will become difficult as the robot will drop faster and reinforcements arrive frequently. If you let any robot touch the ground, they will appear on the background, somehow bigger than the sprite we fought. You only have 3 chances. If 3 robots touch the ground, game over and you need to start from the beginning. Good. So you need to think faster and efficiently to beat all levels. Even if you beat level 5 and letting one robot touch the ground, somehow they appear on background too, celebrating our victory with us. Good. Simple and casual game. My only complaint about this game is no power-ups? Like, come on, even old game has many. Why this one doesn't? Just because for kids? Whatever. Next is Build and Bless, and this one is just simple but somehow customizable. What you do here is, I believe after you repel those evil robots, this funny alien built a rocket for you. And that rocket have 4 parts, you can choose whatever you want. Customizable indeed because there are a lot of it. For example, in body, you have designs such as this cup, pencil, gallon, and even surfboard. Really? Surfboard? Surfing in space? In wings, they are literally wing, bee wing, bat wing, and leaves. Like how? Of course, alien technology, why not? In Booster, however, seems normal. What is one part is normal? Well, except the fan version looks compromised. And even changing co-pilot, like this little fella, this group of milk drinker, group of mutant, and our fellow friend. Cool. So the game began by clicking this launch button. And there you go. In this section, you need to navigate your rocket by reaching checkpoints that randomly generated. I mean generated, you need to hit it or no progression at all. Thus, you move only up. So you just going upward to beat this game. To play, you move your mouse in front of your rocket to get your rocket toward checkpoints. Finally, a game that makes sense. You hear me? But be careful. Throughout the game, your rocket will gradually decrease slowly and bit faster. But also be careful with those evil robots that stuck in space after you repelled them in previous game. If you hit them, you lose little bit percentage of fuel. If you run out of fuel, game over. So, collect those jelly fuel can, like how to replenish your fuel or reach checkpoint. Also, don't forget to collect these various balls to gain score. Remind me of the reality minigame from GTA San Andreas. But be careful, each time you hit those checkpoints, the speed of this game becomes faster and faster. So you need to pay attention on this game because sometimes this game can be ridiculous. Prime example for this is somehow the game randomly put robot anywhere This including putting robot on important things, such inside scoreboards and checkpoints.
What?
Huh? Really? That's just irritating. And the goddamn feasibility once again is limited due to challenging aspect. So you need to do fast reaction to Ifeto's robot. Other than that, just move an Ifeto's robot, collect the refuel can, goals for score, and reach 15 checkpoints. And there you go. Simple and casual game, yet challenging at the same time. Cool, but my only complaint is, where's the spacewalk from previous game? Should be not obstacles to Ifate. Man, such a waste opportunity. But whatever. Also, there is auto challenging game from different series, and that is Eastern Adventures, Nimble Ninja Pursuit, and Twin Town Trouble. Now, you know that the previous game consistently put difficulty to higher levels such as faster speed and faster enemy. This one and similar later is somehow even worse than any game combined in this video. Nimble Ninja Pursuit. I somehow hate this game for one particular reason. So in this game, it's kind of like for some reason, you are playing as ninja to its portal, just like previous game. To do this, you need to climb a mountain while the into just normal area with no plateau, by walking like in a park, but not as easy as you think. To play, you need to press 3 buttons, up arrows key to jump, down to roll, and space to cut bamboo that restores small portion of your health. Use these buttons to dodge various obstacles such as barrel, monkey in computer chair, flying sushi, and big one. Why food? Seems there is some sort of food waste here. So, you just need to survive to the next level while only have 3 chances throughout the game and no extra chances. But you have health, although kind of inaccurate because when you got hit, it's like 25% got depleted. Basically, you got 4 health in total, but you can replenish it by attacking this bamboo. But it only restores 10% of your health, so it's kind of not helpful enough. But that is not the problem, but how the difficulty got ridiculous. On level 3, I lost 2 chances due to how faster the game is plus how small my visibility. It's like you have 1 second fast reaction to decide which button you need to press. Well, the game becomes faster with how small the game's gonna have to deal with. So I always press the wrong button, making me lose health, time, and most importantly, patience. And I mean patience. Look at level 5. The game so fast, I need to cheat the game by doing specific tricks to slow down the level. By simply spamming space button repeatedly, the character somehow slowed down. And that's how I beat level 5 and this whole game. By outsmarting the game itself due to ridiculous difficulty gimmick. It's just unfair. Alright. It's simple but somehow not even challenging, but annoying. Next one. Twin Town Trouble. Now this one just simple match picture game or match person in this case. In this game, you need to help these people which I don't know which mascot shop creative use as reference by finding their twin. Clever. Match game. Oh hey March, look, Kitty. Well, this is a nice environment, but hey, remember our objective here? You need to move your mouse and click those doors which randomly put people in there, and you just need to find the same person. Just that. You only have 3 chances as usual, but there is a time limit, so you need to find the same person, either ninja or geisha, as fast as you can. If you choose the wrong person, for ninja, they got irritated. I mean, why would you annoy people in the middle of the night? But for geisha, they just yawning. Okay? But if you found their pair, they got sleepy and goes to bed thus turn off the light, indicating you successfully matched them. For ninja, they put sleep head. Okay. But for geisha, they put eye mesh, which is a out of place object for the Shogunate era. Or maybe this is just future all along, but we are in some sort of traditional district. So, do it until you beat level 3. Yeah, only 3 levels, but fair enough. And there you go. Simple, casual, and easy to play. Cool. Now we come to more barbaric era than previous one. Because we are in prehistoric park series which is full of cavemen and dinosaur. Yeah, cavemen, which is not to be messed with even though some of them are dumb and mostly criminal. Because in caveman confusion and dino dodge, you're gonna suffer alongside with me. In caveman confusion, which is just memorizing game, which is one of my worst subject, came again to test my skill against this simple kids game. In this game, you need to help this caveman find, or in this case, identifying a thief. by memorizing the exact portrait of that thief itself. Like, how? I suppose it should be a sketch, since they are confused and might be having a few or blur information about that thief. But no! Since this is kids game, we must lower the difficulty. Makes sense! So in this game, you need to memorize the thief shown on the screen and choose it with your mouse. Some are unique, fully clothed, and some are don't. Yep, get funny everybody! So you just need to click it before time runs out or you lose chances. The same as previous game, free only with time limit. If you choose the wrong one, no penalty and give you the same response indicating they are not the thief. Well, the real thief will always says, me bet? Well, everyone looking at the thief. That's a neat detail right there. I like it. Just do that several times, which is why there are so many thieves. I wonder why. And there you go. Just switch every level with different difficulty, such as more cavemen and short timer, but the same background for the entire game. Just that. Next is, I had to say this, Dino Dodge, which is just reskin of Nimble Ninja Pursuit. The exact carbon copy of the game! Ugh. Okay, okay. What you do here is you are riding a Brontosaurus to reach a portal in the mountain. The same as Nimble Ninja Pursuit, up jump, but down is crouching, and space, eat a whole leaf! Dang, that's a whole big mouth right there, buddy. While avoiding pterodactyl, boomerang. What? Of course, this is Australia! And also this caveman chasing rock that looks like an egg, cube, uh, cube, and reverse situation. Good. Just that. Beat all levels with ridiculous difficulty, which is the game is too fast and the same trick still working. And the last series is far less barbaric, but we are now sailing across the seas. Viking Venture. You know what that means?
And another thing the Vikings like to do is appropriate.
Yeah, plundering. Except this series got questionable again. The first is just reskin of Intergalactic Invaders, the exact carbon copy of the game. Again! But in Viking Pirates team, you use cannon instead in Skyscraping Pirates. In this game instead in Planet, you are in a boat while fending off falling Vikings. That they are using umbrella and balloon? Never mind. So you need to shoot them with another questionable ammo such as pineapple, boots, and cactus. Okay? Well, also shoot those treasure chests for extra points. Why not Seagull instead? I mean, since... must it just suggestion, okay? Chill out! So shoot those Viking to fall down into water, that they go swim to the other side? Then why they don't aboard my boat when they had a chance? What kind of logic is this? And when they reach my boat, they simply dare to threaten the kid while bringing a sword!
That doesn't make any sense.
You know, since this is kids game, things must go so for their convenience, right? But for me, this is illogical. Yeah, just that. The same as Intergalactic Invaders, beat all levels with different difficulty, such as faster drop and frequent reinforcement to make your aim harder and need to think tactically to beat this game. And there you go. And the last game is even more questionable than the last one, because in Clear the Deck, this one involving bowling with bomb. So in this game, these unfriendly Viking pirates, I guess, challenge us to play bowling so they can give us a ride to portal destination. To do this, you need to use your left click carefully to determine your aim, and your power to roll this bomb to toss barrels as bowling pin. But be careful, those pirates sometimes walk across bowling lane to block your bomb. So watch out, or you will see them kind of bouncing that they perhaps took splash damage. Just that, just normal looking bowling game on that era. But my only complaint is, how this pirate's boat survive such explosive? It's like 12 to 20 times explosion in this boat.
What were they thinking?
Like, what kind of boat they use to sustain durability against such damage from a bomb? Of course, kids game of course, why not? And that is all games I can review. Overall, some are just simply casual, some are unexpectedly challenging but fun, and some are just totally unfair. His graphics are just fine, simplicity at its best, with its bright color tone or his funny character design. Because this game was targeted for kids with infinite fun idea and imagination that only kids can enjoy, and in the end, having fun all along. And that is the end of this video. So thank you for watching and see you on the next part. Ciao!